What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Booth. DJ Julz here. Got my brother DJ Matt in the building. If you guys haven't seen the mix, check up right here. Bro, unplanned hip-hop mix, but we did the thing. It was a lot of fun. And also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out his channel, link up below. And my brother DJ Matt, thank you so much for passing by, man.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Like, just watching you throughout the years, I kind of want to take it back to how did you start DJing? Or what inspired you to start DJing?
I really don't know, honestly. Before I used to say that it was the movie Julz, but then I started, I've heard a lot of people tell the same story that they went to the movie theater and they saw that. So I was like, it can't be that, because it can't just be that boring. And honestly, I don't know. I just think I was just born with it, because I remember when I was, when you were little, when you were like 2 years old, and you have like flashbacks. It would kind of like, they would turn the lights on, you remember, and then it turns off. So I remember when I was like 2 or 3 years old that I always wanted to like pick the radio stations in the parties back in the day with my parents. And it used to be a thing. There's like, they knew that I was the one that wanted to pick the radio stations. But back in the day, there was no DJs. It was just like, like radio stations. You put the radio station and you play whatever. So I was just flip from station to station to find a good song. So I don't know. I guess it just happened.
And did your parents, did they notice a gift, like a musical gift? Like,
my parents never really I don't think until this day my parents really know what I do. It's kind of like one of those things. Like one of my dreams, God bless my father. He's just turned 98. My mom is about to be 80, and hopefully one day, God willing, if everything goes well, what I would love to do, I would love to bring them to a concert that I do, and I would love to bring them on stage so they can actually see what I do. Because then edit that out. Okay. So I would like to bring them on stage so they can see what I do. Because like I said before, I don't think my father calls me the artist, but he doesn't know exactly what it is that I do. He never actually seen it, so I would.
But he's seen clips and videos of.
I don't know if he has or not. I mean, he can't see that much, so so okay. But I would like for him to experience it at least once before he goes to the other side.
That would be a big experience.
Yeah. So
very big experience.
That's one thing that I definitely.
Having your parents right next to you.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Very cool. So God willing, I'll be able to make that happen, and if not, then whatever God wants,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll get to the tour life in a bit, but as you're walking us through your journey, so you started from flipping radio stations, doing that. When did you start buying like your first pieces of equipment?
To be honest, it took a while. I mean, in the beginning, I used to buy records without having turntables. I love records so much that I used to go to the record store, and whatever allowance I would get, I would save it, and I would be
acting on faith.
Yeah, and I remember the first record that I ever bought was Black Sheep, The Choice Is Yours. And I used to go to this record store. I used to live in Plainfield, New Jersey. And I used to go to this record store, really famous record store used to be called Sound Express. And I used to go there. I would just stand there, because every Thursdays and Saturdays, I don't know if you know, but back in the day, the way you will find your music, you actually have to go to the record store. So like people will go on a Thursday or a Saturday, mostly on a Thursday, because Thursday is right before the Friday, so everybody wants to get the new tunes. So you will go there, and then the record store will have an actual DJ that was up on all the music, because the record labels will send the new music, like this is what we're pushing. So then that DJ will play the record, he will push it on to the DJs that will come. So like that record store, like at any given time, be like 50 to 70 DJs just vibing out with like a big ass sound system, and he would drop all the records. He'd be like, well, I want that. It was almost like an auction, like, yeah, I'll take that.
Wait, a DJ playing in the record store?
Yes. Because back then, radio stations, well, it's just like now, like radio stations never actually broke records, and the mixtape game was really big, but when it came to like pushing records, it's like, whatever was printed was what we played. So if it wasn't printed on wax, it's kind of like, then you don't have it, because we didn't have CDs or whatever, it was just wax. but that was the way the DJs would go and get the new music. That was the only way. There was no other way.
So you were collecting records before you got. So when did you get your first pair of turntables? Did you have to borrow it? How did you?
So then, after that, when I was in high school, I linked up with some dude, and he had a setup. But the funny thing about it is he had all the equipment, but he didn't DJ. He just loved the equipment. So like, I went to his house one day. He was like, "Yeah, I got all the equipment." I was like, "But do you DJ?" And he was like, "Yeah, whatever." So he started DJing. He was really bad. So I was like, "Man, I can be better than you." So. To make the story short, like I just started going to his house every day, like uninvited. And he'd be like, okay, so I would just go to his room, like to the point I would show up if he watching TV in the living room, and I would just walk right past him and go to his room. And he wouldn't care because he knew that I just went there to practice. Like literally every day after school, I would go there and practice. And then I started doing like pool parties in the high school and all the little parties I used to do in high school. I started doing all of those, and I got myself a little known in high school. To the point where I even like DJ my own prom. That was kind of cool.
That's pretty dope.
And yeah, it went from there.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, carrying records to DJ your prom. I mean, carrying crates to DJ your prom. Oh man, that's. And then as you segued from prom, do you remember when you got into nightlife?
I actually got into nightlife before prom. Every Thursday night I used to go to the parties. I had a fake ID and then I started doing college parties because my cousins, they were in a fraternity, so they knew I used to DJ. I mean, they knew I DJ, so they were like, "Oh, just come DJ, whatever," and I would DJ at their frat parties, and then I started getting known in the older crowd before I even got out the high school. So that's the way I got into the nightclub. So by the time I got out of high school, like I was already like in the system because I was already going around.
DJ training ground.
Underage, yeah.
Wow. That's what's up. And then that prepared you for the next step. You learned how to deal with the adult crowd. Like dealing with the adult crowd before you even got to the nightclub. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, back then when, like, if you ask me what was I playing, I can't even tell you what was I playing.
Probably whatever was hot.
Bro, I was just playing whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, you know how now, well, not now, because everybody has Serato and everybody, whatever. But, you play with records, obviously, because you have turntables. So, when you used to do a gig with records, you would be like, okay, I'm doing this type of party, so let me just make sure I bring these type of records. Bro, I used to just grab records. I would just grab a bunch of records. I didn't know what it was, and I would just go and I would just play whatever. And people would dance, and I didn't even know I would play whatever. Like, I didn't even know what I was playing.
Wow.
And it's crazy how, like, back then you would just play whatever as long as it was like a good tune.
Yeah.
People would dance to it, and now you play something that, I don't know, that may not be as popular, and people look at you weird. Like, it's like music is so far now.
Trying to break records now is different. Yeah. I mean, like, you can do it, but like you almost have to have that Plan B record.
It's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, the artists nowadays, they don't deserve it. They don't show love to the DJs. The record labels don't really show love to the DJs unless you're like in a certain caliber. And by the time you get to that caliber, it's like you don't even need their love.
You don't even, yeah.
So it's like that whole connection between the artists, the record labels, and the DJs. It's like it went out the window, I feel, and that's why I think music is so backwards nowadays, because the streets is not connected, I feel.
When do you feel that relationship kind of dropped from the record label and the DJ, like that connection?
I'll tell you I know exactly when it happened. 2001, that's when I felt it, that it was like, because let me rewind a little bit. Before 2001, I used to go to New York every weekend. I used to drop like $500-$600 every weekend religiously. Like, my expenses on records was ridiculous. But then again, it wasn't much because I was booked like seven nights a week.
Yeah.
So I was making like over $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I'm talking about early 2000.
I could, wow.
So you have to invest in your records, because the reason why one of the reasons why you got booked was because you got that record that just came out yesterday, and you want to be the first one dropping it. Like, for example, when Lean Back came out, I was in Puerto Rico, and a good friend of mine was there as well. His name is DJ Brinca. I don't know if you know who he is. Really big DJ in New York. He moved to Miami. So he was in Puerto Rico. He was another party, and I'm DJing and everybody's asking you to play that lean back, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, because back then records would come out and it's like that shit just came out yesterday. Like, nobody had it.
Yeah.
So DJ Brinca, I went up to him like, yo, what's this lean back shit? Everybody keep asking me like, you don't got the lean back? Like, because he had just came from the US that day, and I was already there for like 3 days. So the record came out when I was out of the US. I wasn't able to buy it, so I didn't know about it. And he was like, oh, I got it, bro. I got doubles, bro. I was like, I'll lend you one. And I'm like, for real, you would do that for me? I'm like, of course, bro. It's not like I'm going to cut it up. You're going to play it. So, yo, I grabbed that record and I ran that record. Like, the first time I ran that record, I ran it like 4 times. And I never heard it.
Wow.
That's the crazy thing about it. I never heard Lean Back. Like, I heard it when I actually played it.
Wow.
So it was different times then. And it just felt great.
Wow.
You know?
It's funny how you were saying even your style of DJing back then, risk-taking, that almost brings it back to the mix that we just did, you know, wasn't planned, you know, just seeing, all right, let's see if this works.
I think if there's one thing that I can say that hasn't changed about me is that I love taking risks. I don't like, let me be a little more political. I dislike when I watch DJ perfection. Because DJ perfection, to me, sucks. Like, I like it when I see a DJ getting in trouble because I want to see how he's going to get out of trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you doing a set, you know, beat sync, and like having it from 1 to 10, and just like, you know, it's just next, and you know, and when to come in, and having an intro, a 16 bar intro, which I don't understand why DJs use that. It's mind-boggling to me. Like, I don't understand why you need a 16 bar intro on a hip-hop song. That makes no sense. You're supposed to cut the hip-hop. Like, that's the way hip-hop is. Hip-hop is a raw form. It's just like the perfect mixing and like flawless. Like, I do not like flawless mixing. I think flawless mixing, leave that to like the techno crowd, like the house music, and stuff. And even that, I like hearing a little horse track here and there.
Okay.
You know, because it's just a vibe. It adds the human to it. It's like when you see like, for example, our mix that we was just doing earlier. It's like there was a couple of times where I missed the beat, but it's not about missing. It's not about missing the beat. It's how you come back. Right? Like how am I going to make it sound good?
Yeah.
So you think that I made it. So you think that I did that on purpose? Yeah. So now I have to rethink. I'm like, oh crap! Like, you know. So that to me is a DJ turn on. When I see a DJ like, oh, I got in trouble, but I figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's like everybody wants to be this perfect mixing. It kills the vibe. Like it's not real to me. It's like, to me, what most DJs are doing nowadays, the way they're mixing, when they say is AI going to replace DJs, they're going to replace those DJs. That is my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because now you go on Apple Music, you know how they released that you can actually have a playlist and it'll mix it for you.
Apple Music?
Yeah.
I remember Serato had this thing called Serato Pyro, and it could blend the songs like with BPM.
Right. No, Apple Music has that already. Like you want a playlist mix, like a workout mix, and it'll mix it for you on BPM and everything. So it sounds like literally like most of these DJs that have a 16 bar intro and they mix flawlessly. Bro, technology is so advanced that it's like you're doing what AI could do. But you know what AI cannot do? Being natural, you know, messing up on the fly, coming back to it, you know, spinning the record and be like, oh, let me get out of here and stuff like that, or making a judgment of like, this record's not working. It's not gonna sound as good of a mix if I cut it mid-verse, but it's not working anyway, so it has to go. You know, I don't think AI will ever be able to do that because AI is not looking.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking, we're the one feeling, we're the one being bothered by the Karen saying, play this song right now, you know? So, I don't know, I'm just here.
No, that was actually a great terminology, because I know a lot of DJs, that's sometimes the scary part, like, oh, is Spotify gonna replace me, Apple Music, Tidal, but you made a very good point. The DJs who maybe might have a flawless mix or not having the human interaction with it,
Yeah.
you know, then that's how you can be replaced. Maybe not being as creative and things like that.
And most importantly, like if what you need to understand is that what are you doing that's going to differentiate you from the other dude? You know, it's not about you know, because I'm doing it right now. You wearing glasses or coloring your hair, which I do once in a while. When I was on tour, I used to color my hair like a different color every day. But that was just a look. That was before the whole woke mob and stuff like that. You know, that took over the colors. Which I got to figure something else now because I don't want to be pun. But no pun intended. But it's your mix. Like it can be something that anybody can just do. You know, and me personally, the way I go about mixing is everybody. Like for example, if I ask you, when you DJ, who do you play for?
Play for the crowd.
See, I don't play for the crowd.
You should play for the crowd. I mean, yes, sometimes I have moments where I play for myself because I like the songs. So then I'm just like, I'm trying to help them out too.
See, I don't play for the crowd. I don't play for the crowd. And I feel like most DJs say that, for two reasons. One, because they haven't figured it out. That's very important. They haven't figured it out. And two, which is the most common, because they want to sound politically correct. Okay?
Yeah.
But most of the time it is because they haven't figured it out. So they go to play for the crowd just to sound whatever. You ask me, call me arrogant, I play for myself. And I'm explaining to you why I play for myself. Because when you're in a big stage or little stage, first of all, the worst stage is the stage where the club that only fits 25 people and only 2 people showed up. That is the most difficult place you could DJ at. You know, and then when you go to the 500, the 1,000, the 2,000 people, those rooms are easy. Then there is a cap. When you start breaking the 5,000 and up, then that's a different monster. You know, now it depends if they're sitting or they're standing. Now, the sitting, like for example, an arena with the seats, that is very difficult for you to get people involved because you are trying to hype up people. They went to let's say a show, a concert, very well dressed with their suits, the girls with their high heels. You know, they came to see their favorite artist, and they already have a seat. So you're trying to convince them to get off their seat. That is a very difficult situation.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So the reason why, and I'm coming in full circle. That's the reason why I was saying that. The reason why I say I play for myself is because I learned one thing that taught me playing in stadiums and in arenas where there's people sitting is that energy. You don't see it, but you feel it.
Yes.
Okay? And the music by itself is not going to give you energy. Okay? You can play the best songs. As a matter of fact, I've done concerts where the DJ before me played 80% of the music that I was going to play. I went on the first 15 minutes. I played different stuff, but eventually you got to play the hits.
Yeah.
But I played just about most of the records that he played, and he didn't even get not 1% of the reaction that I got.
Wow.
Because it's not what you play. It's not what you play. It's how you play it.
Yes.
And if you blend the records the same way always with the 16-bar intro and whatever, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
So you can't say that you're playing it good. I mean, you are playing it good, but you want the reaction. You want to create something. You want to create an energy. And to finalize my point, I know I'm not extending this part right here, but to finalize my point, the reason why I say I play for myself is because I'm up there by myself. So how do I expect you, if you're watching me right now, DJ, right? How do I expect you to feel it if you're looking at me and I'm waiting to feel it by looking at you? Who starts first?
Wow, that's so true. Like, people are going to respond of your energy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That leads me to some questions I have for you since we're on tour life right now, arena stadiums. How do you, well, you just said you play for yourself. Because my question was going to be, how do you read a room when you can't even see the people?
It's called you got to become an actor. If you go to my YouTube channel, which you guys should,
Gang.
shameless plug. If you go to my YouTube channel and you watch a few of my live videos, you will see me DJing, me looking up, me pointing at people, doing whatever. And you see me, you see the crowd, okay? Because the camera is not directly behind me, it's kind of like tilt to the side. The reason why it's tilt to the side is because there are these humongous spotlights on your face.
Wow.
These lights are hot as balls.
Oh God.
Like you sweat like you're gonna sweat like a fucking pig. It doesn't matter if it's the winter.
Wow.
And you're outside, you're gonna sweat. That's how powerful these lights are.
Wow.
So on top of you sweating, these white lights, what do? They blind the crap out of you. So it's like, when somebody puts a flashlight on you, what happens? All you see is the light, but everything around goes black.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I go, you over there, you dancing or whatever, I'm pointing whatever. I don't know who the hell I'm pointing at.
Wow.
Okay, I just learned to know that this place is so big that wherever I point, I'm gonna point at somebody that's dancing.
Yes.
I already know that in my mind. Depending on my set and what I hear, because it's also very difficult to hear. Because this is gonna sound crazy, but about delays. There's a delay when I play the music here on stage. By the time they hear it out there, time has passed. So when I hear the reaction, let's say where somebody say ho ho, it'll be like somebody say ho, ho, and I'm already saying my next sentence because there's that delay. And on top of that, because these arenas are so big, the echo that sound comes back like a wall, like whoop, like that. So you got to teach yourself how to deal with stuff like that. But going back to your question, is just acting. You gotta act.
Okay.
But most importantly, you kind of have to know your demographics. I'm not saying that I'm gonna play for myself and I'm in Guatemala and I'm gonna start playing Drake. It's like people don't know who the hell Drake is in Guatemala. Maybe like few people, but not the people that's going to the the concerts of the artists that I work with. They don't know who Drake is or Jay-Z or whatever. It's like.
That's the wrong time to play for yourself. It'd be like if that's what you're feeling.
See, but that's the thing is that you still gotta play for yourself.
Wrong time to play like that kind of set for.
Oh no, of course.
Guatemala playing a Hove and you know what I'm saying.
When I say I play for myself, it's like.
No, I got you for that.
Yeah,
I already got you.
Right, like if it's a merengue party, or let's say it's a hip hop party.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the hip hop that I want to hear.
Yeah, I definitely got that.
I'm not gonna play the shit that you want to hear. I won't play the stuff that I want. That's gonna make me go crazy. That's gonna make me turn up. That's gonna make me say some stupid shit on the mic. That's the stuff that I want to play. Because at the end of the day, people don't go partying people don't want to hear their favorite records. People want to hear stuff that they didn't know they wanted to hear.
I heard one of my boys, DJ Casper, he was telling me when he DJs, he said he plays music that you didn't know you wanted to hear. And I was like, oh wow, that's a great perspective.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we're still in the tour arena, or like tour life concerts. So you said there was a difference between playing, like, of course, like when you're playing club, like say 25 people. Sometimes it's hard when you only have 10 people in there, like just a smaller.
I feel like I want to kill myself. I've been also sorry.
Those are hard.
I think every DJ career. That's like,
sometimes I feel it's harder to play. Actually, no, I know it's harder to play for a smaller amount of people because then it's just like if a couple people walk from the dance floor, then it's like, oh boy.
It brings your ego. Like it's like you feel like crap.
Yeah.
You feel like, what am I doing here? You start questioning your life choices. That's the fact. Like, oh man,
that's a fact.
I'm never getting a chick ever again if they see me DJing here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's tough.
So say like the 500 to 1,000 person concert space. How is that difficult to DJ? Like when it's
you said 500 to 1,000?
Like yeah, around those.
That's a party. That's not a concert.
Okay, cool. So now I guess if we bring it to like 5,000 to 10,000.
Yeah, concert is more. Yeah, a concert is more like 3,000 and up.
So when did you notice it? Because you mentioned before, when did you notice the difference between DJing like the smaller concerts to going to like 20,000, like that, like where you're like, okay, I gotta adjust.
When I noticed it the first time I did at a concert, which was the first time I did at a concert, I realized that what I was doing wasn't working.
And what were you doing that wasn't working?
I was doing what I was doing in the club. I was building the party.
So you basically, what you're saying is you have to, at the concert, you got to go headliner set.
Let me tell you something. When it comes, this is me, okay? And you have to have a personality. Things may work different for you. You know, this is my character. I'm very spontaneous. You know, like I will make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I have this. What I've learned is this: the minute I throw my intro, boom, epic intro. When that intro stops and that spotlight turns on me, I got 5 seconds. That's it. And those 5 seconds are going to dictate whether this set is going to be a good set or a bad set. I got 5 seconds. That's it. If I don't grab them in those 5 seconds without music, I lost it. Why will you say that? Like, what am I talking about? The respect.
Got it.
Okay? In 2023, we did over 130 concerts across the world. We went to countries that I never thought that I would go. I mean, shoot, we ended up in Italy, Nepal, Napoli, Italy.
Yeah.
Like Napoli, Italy. It's like, I think it's like 2 hours away from what's the name of that place where they had the volcano that came out and everybody died and whatever.
I don't even.
You know your history, whatever. Okay. Well, you guys may know. The point is, okay, something a little more that you understand.
No, but I understand. So
Israel. We went to Israel.
Yeah. Oh wow.
We went to Israel. Okay.
Wow.
And there's Dominicans out there.
Wow.
And we went to Israel. And most of those people don't speak Spanish, but they still came out because they know some of the songs.
Wow.
And you're there, and you're like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? Like, you know, like, it's just.
So now, do you do research? Like, say, like you're saying Israel, where you find out, like, okay, what are some Israeli bangers that people like?
It's funny you say that because that could work for you and that could also harm you. And I've done it all. When I tell you that I tried everything, I tried everything. And first, I went with my thought that it's like, oh, I'm from the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. Whatever works here is gonna work everywhere. Wrong. Dude, you travel 3 hours away from the tri-state area. You go to Maryland, and it's backwards already. The music that you play here is totally different than over there. You do your homework, see what's going on. So once I figured that out, you know, I crashed in a couple of shows. Again, when I first started DJing at shows, my thought was club vibe. Like, let me build the vibe. Let me start slow and go up. That doesn't work. That does not work. Okay? So then I figured it out. I was like, okay, I need to just start. Let me just hit them. Okay, that works. Okay, so now the music selection. How do I go about the music selection? Where do I go? Okay. Hits will always be hits. If a song is a hit, a classic, it's a hit and a classic because it's a hit and a classic across the world. Like, for example, there's not a corner in the world that if you drop Gasolina by Daddy Yankee, the place is not going to blow up.
Facts. Certified banger.
Yeah, that is a world classic. And I can name you many, many more songs that are world classics. So the difference between world classics and hits is that hits may not work, but world classics do. I would say 80% of the music that I play is throwbacks. I had people reach out to me and said, yo, can you play new music? You play mostly whatever. And in the beginning, it used to bother me But then now I know that it's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You're not the one on stage.
Yeah, if I will go and I'll play all this new music, nobody will vibe to me.
Yeah.
Because most of these people don't even know this new music.
Facts.
You know, it's only a small pocket of people that know the new music. Throwbacks is where you at. If you want to win, throwback. When I go to a club and the DJ is like, oh, I didn't play another new hit. No, play all the new hits. Leave me all the throwbacks. So I'm going to destroy this place for the throwbacks.
Yeah.
You know, as far as your question said, music selection, I just, most importantly, again, the throwbacks. That's always going to work. And then, because I've been traveling for so long, you know, I've met DJs and stuff like that. So I will compare notes with them. Hey, what's like popping over here? And they'll tell me, you know, most of the time it's the same thing that's popping over here. And then I found out that I was asking the wrong question. It's like, it's not what's popping, it's what's the record? Let's say if you play 5 records right now, like your life depended on it, what's 5 records that you will play? And that's when DJs locally started giving me the sauce. They were like, oh no, you play this right here tonight, and yeah.
Wow.
And then I'll be like, well, what's a song that if I will play, it will be weird for me to play because people will look at me and say, how does he know that song? And then I started getting materials like that. So I started learning. Let's say, for example, you go to Argentina, there are like the biggest song of the night when I went to Argentina in front of 75,000 people was the Copa Mundial song.
No way.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Exactly.
I would have never guessed.
Exactly. And I'm talking about forget Karol G, forget Daddy Yankee, forget everybody. The biggest record of the night was the Copa Mundial song. The theme song to the soccer game.
That is crazy.
When I tell you that it
Blew your mind.
no, the stadium
Erupted. Word.
and when we were leaving and I was getting in the bus backstage, you know, the fans, they was back there, whatever. And all I kept hearing, how do you know to play that? How, like, why would you play that song? Like, how do you know that? Like, you're not from here. How will you know that?
Wow. Oh, I would have never thought to play that song. Like, and then, so like, say for example, you're playing Argentina. What's the difference between playing like South America, Central America, like say like all these different Latin countries? How do you like Guatemala? Like
The thing is, like, it's the same thing as when you go to Jersey and then when you go to Washington Heights.
True.
You know, when you play in Jersey, you know, you can play the same songs, but there's certain dembow songs that you can play here in New Jersey, but you can play them in Washington Heights because they're dembow.
They're up
crazy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Or like you go to Washington Heights and you can play some Jersey club tracks that they know. But if you really want to get down with Jersey club, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. What the hell are you playing? So it's the same thing worldwide. It's still the same songs, but there is a pocket of songs that they play in that region, and your job is to find out what those songs are. Now, I know I may be sounding like I'm contradicting myself that I'm saying, but you are playing for the crowd, not playing for yourself. No, I'm still playing for myself. It's because of how I play these records.
Yes.
Okay? Somebody asked me that question before, and I don't know if it was exactly the same way, but I did answer like this. I said, music to me is secondary. I'm first. Okay? That mic is first to me. When I crack that mic, I'm first. The music is just my background.
Wow. You are the main character.
Yes, most DJs, they make the music the main character and they are just a conductor. No. You came here to see me.
You know, it's funny because that's what I've noticed about tour DJs, like very good tour DJs, their mic game is impeccable. You know, you're just like, dang, like the way they move the crowd.
They figure it out.
Yeah. And like, as I've seen your videos, and I'm just like, wow, your mic game, like how you control the crowd, like, and that makes sense how the mic game is number one for you.